Hello and welcome back to ROADTRIpVIA, the once-a-day road trip trivia quiz. Today's episode is day number 273 of the 365-day trivia road trip. Today's quiz was submitted by Trish and Tom. More about them at the end of the episode, but right now, it is September 30th, the last day of the month, and my friend Parrish wanted me to wish his wife, Wendy Madison, a happy birthday. Everybody knows all the cool people are born at the end of September. Happy birthday. Good luck on today's quiz. Question number 1. After the December 7th, 1941 sneak attack on Pearl Harbor, the Library of Congress decided to transfer the original Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights to a more secure location. Where were these irreplaceable historical documents stored during World War II? They were all stored in Fort Knox in Kentucky. Question number 2. In 2013, the Friends of Lava protested the construction of a road in Iceland, claiming it would disturb protected and culturally important habitats. The Supreme Court of Iceland halted the project for 1.5 years until a compromise allowed it to continue. What creatures were the subject of this protest? They did not want it to disturb the habitat of the elves. Question number 3. In 200 BC, contracts were signed with fingerprints. Iranian physician Rashid al-Din Hamadani said the Chinese identified people by their fingerprints. Experience shows that no two individuals have fingers exactly alike. Chimpanzees, gorillas, and what other animal has unique fingerprints? Obviously humans, but what other animal? The answer is koalas. Koalas have unique fingerprints. Question number 4. Chinese brides usually do not wear white because in their culture it is a color associated with sadness and death. Wedding dresses of a color representing joy and celebration have been tradition since the Ming Dynasty over 650 years ago. What color do Chinese women usually wear on their wedding day? The answer is red. Question number 5. Canada's National Day celebrates the anniversary of Canadian Confederation, when the colonies of the United States, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick were united into a single dominion called Canada within the British Empire. The date became a legal holiday in 1879. What day is Canada Day? Unless it falls on a Sunday, the answer is July 1st. If it does, then July 2nd becomes the holiday. Question number 6. A story about the Earl of Sandwich is that he was an inveterate gambler who hated having to leave the card table for meals. So he had his servants bring him meat between 2 slices of bread, a sandwich. The Polynesian island chain also once bore his name. What are the Sandwich Islands known as today? Formerly the Sandwich Islands, we know them today as the Hawaiian Islands. Question number 7. As of 2023, this female singer-songwriter's net worth is approximately $740 million and is surpassed only by Rihanna. She's come a long way from picking praying mantis pods out of Christmas trees on her small family tree farm in Pennsylvania. Who is this singer-songwriter? The answer is Taylor Swift. Question number 8. This fibrous protein is the main component of hair, nails, the upper layer of skin, claws, feathers, beaks, horns, hooves, the shells of turtles, tortoises and terrapins, and spider silk. A deficiency of it may cause these body parts to be brittle and grow slowly, and hair or fur may fall out. What is this substance? The answer is keratin. Question number 9. One of the most famous and valuable paintings in the world is Leonardo da Vinci's portrait of Lisa Gherardini, wife of Florentine silk merchant Francesco del Giocondo. She was called La Giocondo, or Mrs. Giocondo, and so was her portrait. But now it is better known by the Italian for My Lady Lisa, or what? My Lady Lisa or Mona Lisa? Question number 10. Historically, a duel was fought between two people to settle a point of honor. Unlike a shootout, it was formally arranged with matched weapons, usually swords or pistols, and strict rules. In The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, the climactic scene is a three-man duel. What is this kind of fight called? A three-man duel is specifically called a truel. But if you said Mexican standoff, I will count it. Question number 11. Maine was part of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts until 1820, when it became a separate state and entered the U.S. as number 23. It is bordered by the Gulf of Maine on the southeast, New Brunswick, Canada on the northeast, and Quebec, Canada on the northwest. What is the only state that borders Maine? Maine is the only state that has one state bordering it. That state is New Hampshire. Question number 12. Daintree Forest, about 65 miles north of Cairns, contains some of the earliest land plants, including ancient ferns, club mosses, and conifers. In fact, the forest is 180 million years old and coexisted with the dinosaurs. On what continent would you find this most ancient rainforest on Earth? Daintree Rainforest is in Australia. Question number 13. Wimbledon is the world's oldest and most respected tennis tournament, so it is not the kind of sporting event to find fans in face paint. Suits and ties for men and summery dresses for women are traditional. The present Wimbledon club colors were introduced in 1909 and are dark green and what? Those club colors are dark green and purple. Question number 14. Dolly the sheep was the first mammal to be successfully cloned in Scotland in 1996. The first dog to be cloned was Snuppy, born in 2005 in South Korea. The first dog to be cloned on American soil was Nubia in 2016, and what Hollywood celebrity's dog Sammy, who died in 2017, was cloned twice? What was the name of the celebrity? Her name was Barbara Streisand. Question 15. Squab typically weigh between 12 and 16 ounces. The name may be from the Swedish skvab, meaning loose, fat flesh, yet they don't fly, making the meat very tender. The meat is dark and said to have a delicate flavor. The small birds are not a separate species, but are the young of what familiar bird? It sounds terrible because it's a young pigeon. Squab is young pigeon. Question number 16. Franz Reichelt, a French tailor, wished to invent a suit for aviators that converted into a parachute. His experiments with dummies were successful, so in 1912 he tried to jump himself. His parachute failed and he fell 187 feet, which proved fatal. From what famous landmark did he jump? The answer is the Eiffel Tower. Question number 17. Vanilla is the bean of an orchid from around the Gulf of Mexico. The Aztecs used it to sweeten their bitter chocolatl. Until the mid-1800s, Mexico was the chief producer of vanilla, but the orchid was planted on several Indian Ocean islands and thrived. What country is now the largest producer of vanilla? The answer is Madagascar. Question number 18. This cutting implement was used in Mesopotamia 3,000 to 4,000 years ago and made of bronze. A pivoted type was developed in Rome about 100 AD. The tool soon became common in China, Japan, and Korea and is the ancestor of the type used today. What is this cutting tool referred to as a pear? This singular cutting tool is referred to as a pair of scissors. Scissors is the answer. Question number 19. The tallest living land animals and the largest ruminants on Earth live in savannas and woodlands over much of Africa. It was once believed that they are mute, but they have been recorded grunting, moaning, coughing, bellowing, bleating, mooing, and humming, especially at night. What is this towering animal? The tallest living land animals are the noble giraffes. Giraffe is the answer. And question 20. The slogan, "Good to the last drop," has been used by Maxwell House Coffee since the 1920s. The story is that which U.S. president, when touring Nashville, was served Maxwell House, which he must have enjoyed because he had a second cup and then exclaimed, "Good to the last drop." Which president said that? The answer is Theodore Roosevelt. Alright, that is it for today. Thank you for watching today's episode of Road TRIpVIA. Thank you again to Trish and Tom who submitted today's quiz. They've submitted a ton of trivia quizzes all year, especially for the Quizlet challenge, really helping keeping the channel going and making sure we don't miss a single day of trivia. I appreciate it. I know everybody else appreciates it. They may not realize how much they appreciate it, but they would certainly notice if we didn't have trivia one day. So thank you again, Trish and Tom. Here is their question 21 tiebreaker for today's trivia. Football can mean two completely different games depending on which country you're from. The most common is called soccer in the United States. In soccer, each team can have a maximum of 11 players on the field at any time. But how many players can American football teams have? One side, how many people can play on an American football team? In soccer, you can have 11 players, and in American football, you can only have also 11 players. The answer is 11. Whichever player got it right wins the point. If nobody got it right, whichever player got the closest to it is still going to win the point. And if it was actually a tiebreaker, they just won the whole game. Congratulations. Thank you, Trish and Tom. Happy birthday again to Wendy Madison. Parrish sends his love. And see everybody else tomorrow for October 1st. Day number 274. This year's almost over.